Now that the Titleist TSi family is complete with its 4 models, let's look at the TSi1, 2, 3 and 4 in that order to let you know the differences between them, with a view to hopefully helping you identify the best one for your game. Now, just a quick note, we make videos like this all the time, so just a quick ask to please do press like and subscribe to the Golfbidder YouTube channel. It really helps us a lot. But getting on to the 4 drivers, and when you see these 4 drivers lined up side by side, they do all share the same colour scheme or livery and very clever aerodynamic lines. They all have this standout, incredible 425 aerospace titanium face construction, which Titleist actually brought in from Allegheny Technologies Incorporated. You'll see ATI on there. And of course, they all do share the same sure-fit hosel with 16 independent loft and lie settings. But let's go through them individually, and let's start with the TSi1. And this driver is specifically designed for golfers who have, for one reason or another, slower swing speeds. I'm talking less than 90 miles per hour, and that's actually 30% of all golfers. So this TSi1 driver is built to give these players more launch trajectory, more distance and more accuracy by simply being light. Now, how light? Well, almost 40 grams lighter than standard. And that weight saving, along with its aerodynamic stance, means basically faster swing speeds for the same input by you, the golfer. So if you don't swing the club so hard, but you want the optimum driver in terms of launch, spin and distance with a touch of draw bias, then the TSi1 driver, that's the driver you should be going for. Now moving on to the TSi2 next, and I have one here. This driver will suit the biggest chunk of the playing community. The TSi2 is built to be extremely forgiving and high launching. This is the one that the Titleist engineers get to set up to their optimum settings, and they're the experts and their center of gravity specs, if you will, and it's the one that basically you'll have to fiddle the least with to get the best results from. Of course, bearing in mind that you always have the sure-fit hosel adjustment options there if you need it. The head of the TSi2, it's also 460 cc's like the TSi1, but it's designed to look really big behind the ball. It's what they call having a bigger footprint, and if you look at the heel, it's stretched out here. So for out-of-the-box forgiveness, easy to hit high and long, then the TSi2 is your go-to choice. Next, the TSi3 driver, and this one is the most adjustable of all 4 models. Its head, it's also 460 cc's, but the TSi3 will look more compact at address than the TSi2 and send the ball out on a slightly flatter trajectory, which some players prefer. Now, if you look at the trailing edge of the TSi3's head here, you'll see it has a very clever weight system. Now, Titleist, they used to use the sure-fit CG weight system in the previous TS3 driver. So this 5-position rear track weighting system, it's the first time they've used it. And inside the track, there's an 8-gram weight there. And it can be moved from the center or neutral position to 2 positions in the heel or 2 in the toe. And changing this weight position will change the center of gravity of the driver, and it'll help you hit draws or fades, or maybe more importantly for you, correct slices or hooks. But actually, these settings might also be a great help if you consistently hit a part of the face which is slightly right or left of centre, which I can definitely relate to as I'm more of a heel striker. And again, don't forget you have the sure-fit hosel, so loads of adjustability. So to summarise, the TSi3, it's a little bit more compact looking than the TSi2, but it's also 460 cc's, and it's the most adjustable of the 4 drivers in the lineup. And finally comes the TSi4 driver, and this one is specifically designed for players with fast swing speeds. Players who find that with normal drivers, they just rip it so hard, it spins up too much in the air, it kind of hangs and drops, robbing them of distance. The TSi4 has a smaller 430cc head, and it's classed as an ultra low spin driver with its weighting system pushed very far forward. So the ball, when it's hit hard at the TSi4, it'll take off on a lower trajectory, more of a knuckleball flight, less spinny. It'll be long, very long in fact, but there's always going to be a small trade-off with forgiveness in drivers that are set up aggressively like in the TSi4. So it's aimed at the single-figure golfers who are consistent centre strikers. So there you have it, that's the complete TSi family from Titleist. The TSi1 again, that's the light one. It'll help the slightly slower or moderate swing speed players hit bigger drives. The TSi2, which will suit most players and has the optimum launch, forgiveness and distance settings right out of the wrapper. The TSi3, that's going to be the most adjustable one with its extra weight track at the back, and the TSi4, which is the smaller headed spin killing model for the hard hitters. Now don't forget to follow Golfbidder across Facebook, Twitter and Instagram to keep up to date with the very latest news. But for me for now though, it's Donal out.